Thank you so much, Shaun, for coming on today. Would you say you're an actor first?
Now, yeah, actor first. I did stand-up comedian. I was a stand-up comedian first. I did stand-up comedy for a long time. I was working on the East Coast and the Northeast. And then I started acting afterwards. But that was always the plan, was to get into acting. But yeah, definitely an actor first now, writer second.
Have you thought about doing like the Laugh Factory or anything?
I was doing the clubs out here when I first moved here. I did comedy for the first year and a half. And I got on the potluck show at the Comedy Store. I got a couple of paid spots at the Hollywood Improv in the smaller room. But I just took my foot off the gas, man. I stopped doing it.
That makes sense why you always got jokes.
I don't always got jokes. What you talking about?
I always got jokes. I always say, look, you don't mind having a commentary about something. I see you in the comments.
Oh, you talking about online? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Always. And even some of your skits. I was like, okay. Yeah, that'd be fun if cracking up. I like it. I love that. I love that energy. I heard you say something about the East Coast. Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I grew up in Boston.
You're probably the only brother I know who's from Boston.
Man, I seen that all in your face. Yeah, we out there heavy, man. It's a lot. We got a lot of us out there.
Well, when did you come to Hollywood?
2017.
Did you already have like a job, or were you one of those people with, I got $10 in my pocket and a dream?
Yeah, I guess you can say that. But I more so came here for a relationship than the industry, because I was already on the East Coast doing my thing. I had left my career job and I was doing stand-up and acting full time. And I was trying to make that bridge to New York. That made the most sense because it's but 4 hours away from me. So that's what my plans were originally, but they changed and ended up moving out here with my girlfriend at the time, and our kids. So.
And you decided to stay?
Oh yeah. I got. Say it again.
What's keeping you here?
Shoot, my kids, man. I'm a father. I can't go nowhere.
This is the first time I'm hearing you talk about your kids, or, I guess because we don't really do that. Most people don't unless they have a reason to. But this is the first time I had no idea you had a child or children.
Yeah, man. I mean, every time we're together, we working, we moving. So,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, not much downtime on the set.
You were on my first set. Again, I will always have like that special spot with like you and Brittany and Lala, because that was my first set. Never knew what a set was, And that was,
I didn't know that. You had a actor drop out of your project.
And that's
and you hit me up like, yo, you want to come do this? I'm like, bet, let's do it.
And you were the hero of the night. I'm telling you. If you can understand, that was my first set the day before. So here's my first film. I had never directed before.
Man, I didn't know that.
I had a vision, right? Like I wrote it, right? Again, I didn't know anything about like the programs or the software. I learned how to write a screenplay literally off of Google so that I can communicate my idea. I was like, well, if I don't communicate my idea, how will people understand it? So I learned how to write a screenplay that day. It was far from perfect, but I literally had to learn how to write it so that we can have like lines and a story and a plot,
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I thought you had been doing it because when I first met you, I said, he must be a Wayans because you look like you could be a Wayans. You see, I swear to God you was related to them. I was like, yo, I'm gonna ask him later. He gotta be a Wayans.
I'm about to do this. I think I'm about to go ahead and introduce myself to the Wayans because I've been getting that for so many years. Only when I came to Hollywood, people say that.
You look like a Wayans, bro.
I appreciate that. When you think of like work out here for Hollywood, how do you normally? Is it through family? Probably not. Is it through networking? How do you get your gigs?
Through my reps, at least SAG projects. I got a manager, I have an agent. I got an agent, I want to say, towards the end of my second year in LA. So latter half of 2018 is when I got my manager. Let me see. Got my manager then my manager introduced me to my agent, who I've been with ever since. At least I'm with them commercially now. I used to be with them theatrically. I've had a few different managers since then, and now I'm with a new agent, TV, or at least for TV and film. But yeah, a lot of my stuff comes through them, word of mouth, or not word of mouth, but my network. You know what I mean? Like, I think something important that I learned early on is that LA is a 10-year town. You feel me? Like it really takes you 10 years to get started. But specifically, it takes you 10 years to build your network. So I get a lot of projects just from people I've met on my journey. So
excellent. What was one of the projects that meant like the most to you early on in your journey when you first got here?
Man, I'm trying to see what project. Well, you know what? It got to be my first TV role because it took me about 2.5 years to get my first TV role. And I just remember all the work I was putting in, all the classwork, all the workshops, all the seminars, and all these things. And, I booked that gig. I remember I was at work. I got the message from my agent. My agent called me. He was like, "You were being booked for Shameless." And I was like, "Whoa, man, like this is it right here." I'm in the game. I mean, I was already in the game, but I'm official. Like I can join SAG now. So I want to say it was that one for sure.
What was that experience like on set? Did you see anybody that you like remember? Did you have any moments?
Yeah, I had some moments, man, because my first time on set was in the capacity of an extra, right? I was background and it was commercial work, which is okay. Commercial background work is solid. It's much different than being on set, I'm sure you know. But I remember the first background gig I did on feature film, and it was like a rude awakening for me, right? Like I didn't understand set politics or like the hierarchy that's in place on set. It's like you're a non-union extra. Everybody else got to eat first, then you eat. You don't go jumping in that line thinking you're going to get some food. Oh, you want some almond milk and you want a banana? Nah, you got to wait your turn. And I remember this guy he was talking to me crazy. He was like a PA. He was just, looking at me crazy. And then I remember I told myself, okay, this ain't for me. Like I'm not, like this is cool. This is a good experience, but nah, this ain't for me. I'm not trying to be standing around. I'm not trying to be, treated like a chair. Because that's how they treat extras. You're like an inanimate object. You're a piece of furniture. You just happen to breathe and eat and use the bathroom occasionally. So fast forwards, when I got my first day player speaking role on a SAG project, it was just like, man, I remember it was literally, I want to say 11 years before that was my first time on a movie set doing background work. And it took me 11 years to get to the point where I was booked and I was a day player. Like I was, I'm a part of this show. You're going to see me on TV. You're going to see me on Showtime. You're going to see my name in the credits. Yeah, it felt great. It felt great to check a PA too, because somebody was like, I remember it was lunchtime and I went and I was eating food, going back to the hierarchy. I'm in there eating food with the cast and crew, right? That's everyone's. That's the director, like everybody, right? And this guy came up to me. They had Chick-fil-A. I went and got me a chicken sandwich. It's only right. Went and got me a chicken sandwich. And this guy was like, hey, man, hey, pal. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm eating a chicken sandwich. Yeah, this is for the, the day players and the crew. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm on the show. Like I'm on the show. I'm about to go film in a second. And man, that felt good. That felt so good. I was like, bro, I understand it's a hierarchy. I get it. I said that like verbatim. I said that to him. And other people heard it and started laughing. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm here now. I'm here. So that was a long story long. That moment was definitely something where it was just like, yeah, that's right. Like I'm here. I put in the work to get here. And yeah, I didn't film it. It was great. It's my first time filming as a day player. So, it had the nerves, but we knocked it right out.
What was it?
What was the show?
Yes.
Shameless.
Now that you have this speaking part, what do you feel is next?
I just wanted to build on that. I'm like, because I understand like it's a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. And it's okay to dream big, but you also need to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, I got this one thing. This is going to make me look more appealing to, number one, that casting office. And then when I get that footage and my reps pitch me, other offices are going to see it. And I'm like, okay, this guy solidified. He was booked by, John Levy's office over at Warner Brothers. let's give them a shot. And it did make it a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, the very second thing I got, second role, was with that same director. So that same director, that was her first time directing. She booked me for Animal Kingdom, which is also through Warner Brothers, through the same office. So, but to be more clear, to answer your question, I was just trying to build. It's like co-star level. Let me get to the guest star level. Let me get to the, recurring guest star, series regular level. So I just wanted to build credits. I just wanted that next thing.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
There's this concept that I hear people talk about, typecasting. And I'm going to word this because I want to see a particular type of angle. For me as a writer, I'm quite clear that I'm a narrative type of writer. I also do entertainment, religion, and also local news. But I'm the narrative. I want to give you a story. I want to have it complete. So I'm fine being in that niche. How do you feel when that same type of conversation is around actors when it comes to typecasting? Is there a type of role, like a dad, that you can nail and feel comfortable and would love to do it? Or do you just want to do everything?
Me, I'd like to do everything. And, I love stories, and that's what I am, a storyteller. I love telling stories. There's some that are in my wheelhouse that are easy to tell, and there's others that are a little bit more difficult, or that I used to look at as being difficult, that, I've completely had a change of heart on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to let the ego get in the way, and I used to do that because I'd say, man, I don't want to play this. I don't want to play any type of character that brutalizes women or children, or, I wasn't comfortable with doing stuff that was like same-sex scenes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. Those things I would try to avoid, but I learned that that's the ego. It's about the story. Like, I'm a spoke on the wheel to tell the story. So I'm pretty much open to play anything. Those latter three types of roles that I was just talking about, those are they're still challenging, but I'm more than ready to meet that challenge now. Like, I've auditioned for some stuff. I've auditioned for all kinds of things, because again, it's about the story and serving the writer's words. So, it's any and everything, man. Any and everything. And it's tough to say everything because this town want to put you in a box. It's so much easier for them to put you in a box. It's like, okay, you have to be that. You have to be that. You look close to this. You have to be this. You have to be that. You have to be this, which I'm not really in agreement. I get it. It's more convenient, right? It's tough to cast roles. So they want the job to be easy. They need it to be very cut and dry, but thank God, the industry is how it is now, and people are way more self-sufficient in doing their own things. So roles I might not necessarily go out for are things that I'm starting to write for myself, you know what I'm saying? Or my friends or people around me, creatives, that I respect, that I'm close with. They're creating those opportunities. But yeah, I digress a lot, man. To answer your question, yeah, I want to be able to cover a wide range of things. I want to be able to say I've done, all that I could when it's all said and done.
What type of role do you want to play now? Right now,
you know what I want to play? It's two roles. It's a villain. I created this character that I'm very excited for. I wrote the scene. I'm not sure if I'm going to expand on it, but right now it's just the scene and I want to shoot that. And this is a villain turn, right? Because I haven't done that at all. And period pieces, I wrote another character. Created this other character that's like a mid 20th century traveling musician, right? Blues musician. So those are the two roles that I'm most excited for right now to really delve into. You feel me?
What period?
It's given 50s, 60s right now. But with that, it all depends on, like, the location might change that, or what I have access to I might have to be a little bendable with that. But definitely mid 20th century for sure.
I don't know if I've seen you in a very comedic role lately. Have you?
Yeah, that's the thing. People don't. That's the other thing. I need to get back to the comedy. That comes to me the easiest. Like, I'm not the type, I don't toot my own horn, but the comedy aspect of things, like, I just got natural timing, bro. My timing is, and I definitely cut my legs off by not doing stand-up, because that's how you get on multicams, single cams, stand-up with improv. I do have some stuff though. I got some stuff on my reel, and I got a couple of films I did in the CFC that are comedic. I don't know, were you at the screening?
I was not for this year. I had I did some work, but I had something else booked for that day. And so I was like, I don't want to miss, but I double booked myself. So I just kind of took the L. I was like, I've made it the past 2 years. So it's like 1 year won't kill me.
Yeah, you missed. They had shouted out the film we worked on, Vision's film.
They shouted out?
Yeah, one of the reps from, I want to say the rep from Gersh had shouted it out, and I had texted the group chat on WhatsApp. But Vision was there. Vision was there with his mother though, I think. Okay. Yeah, I met his mother. Yeah. Nice. So that's right, you didn't go. But yeah, I did one of the comedies I did made it into the screening.
Okay.
And that was a comedic term, but I did like 3 comedies this year.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got to share with me these links, because I haven't seen these. So you have always been this strong male lead characters in the things that I've seen you perform. They've always been like, you are the man who's coming in, like that Denzel Washington type. I think that when most people see you, that's kind of what you give off. You don't give off somebody who's funny. You don't give off in the fact, you just don't give it off.
Yeah.
I would never.
A lot of comics are like that, though. A lot of comics are like that. There's some that are like way more extroverted than others. I'm more of an introvert than anything, but yeah,
Now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like people that know me, if you were to talk to someone that knows me, they wouldn't even get how you couldn't see I was a comic. It don't even register to them. It's just that's a whole other side, you know what I mean? You get glimpses of it through my posts and my comments. Like the wit is there, you know what I mean? But I'm a lot more reserved than people would expect a comedian to be.
What I expect from comedians or podcasts, I expect to see you doing skits like that constantly. Like, I don't know how you're not locked on the podcast right now.
I mean, I was talking to a friend about some ideas. Like, if I do a podcast, it has to be something that I'm genuinely interested in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be like, I don't want to do a podcast just to do one. So yeah, it needs to be something that I'm really, really interested in for me to start one. But I've started doing more skits as of late. I got a couple of skits up now that are doing pretty well in terms of like response, whatever, and get me some engagement for sure. And funny comment I put up recently is low key going viral, at least for me. Like my phone, I'm getting notifications all day long. I'm up in the thousands.
Nice. As
far as likes and so many comments. My phone is going off all the time. So I'm starting to, showcase a little bit more for sure. And I got some skits. I got some ideas already written. I wrote a pilot for a comedy, a sick web series. That's a comedy that I want to get shot as well. So
how often do you talk with and work with our CFC buddies?
I'd say regularly, because there's a lot of people I got into I put on to the CFC that I knew outside of it. So I speak more to people that I've known outside of the CFC than people I've met in the CFC. But I definitely got some friends from the CFC for sure. I'm meeting up with some people actually tomorrow. And it's tough, bro. It's tough to maintain relationships in Los Angeles because it's vast, bro. LA County is what? 5,500 square miles or something like that. 9.7 million people in LA County. Like, it's so huge. If somebody doesn't live near you, it's just tough. Like, I've had friendships fade because I'm like, man, you in Marina Del Rey, I can't get with that. That shit is like back home, me driving from Boston to Providence. It's like, that's how I like give people, that's how I provide perspective. I'm like, bro, that shit is like, you live in where? Long Beach? Damn. I gotta leave at 4 a.m. to come see you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, and it's expensive, so you working. So it's just really tough. Like you need to be central to everywhere you need to be. Your network needs to be, you need to be central to your network. You need to be central to your job. You need to be central to the studios. You need to be central to, like, everywhere you need to be has to be under 3 miles. You already know what it is. 5 miles could be 50 minutes. Easy.
Easily.
You'd be like, 5 miles? Damn. 52 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So that makes it challenging, but I'm trying to reach out more to people. Like I'm making more of an effort. So
you said the same thing on the threads the other day to someone. You was like, hey, you need to get a job first. And then once you get the job, then you decide where you are going to live, because you need to be close to where you need to be close to where you work. And that's how you decide where you live. You find yourself being in a position now that you've been here for a few years to give people advice more often?
Oh yeah, man. I got the LA starter kit, man, on lock. Like I put a couple of people on before they moved here. Like I'm, avoiding my mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It's money. That money got to be figured out first and foremost. That's what I told that young lady. Like before you even get a place, have your money set up. Before you even get the place ain't, that can be difficult too. But nah, you have to have income coming in. Like people like to, oh yeah, I'm gonna save 10,000 to move. I'm like, that 10,000 will be gone in 2-3 months. Like that ain't it. I'd rather come here with nothing and have a job than to come here with savings. Like that job part is important, super important. You got to know what the numbers are going to be coming in. This place is expensive, but yeah, I have a lot to offer people. Somebody had told me I need to start making videos about that, but
we got your bit. I mean, what we call it? Look, I think we got your podcast. Call it the LA Starter Kit.
LA Starter Kit. Shoot. Yeah. My podcast would be one episode, 3 minutes long. Hey everyone, it's Shaun Bedgood. So this is the best advice I can give you. Don't come here. Stay your ass where you at. Don't come here. Take a trip. You know what I'm saying? Like make connections. Stay where you at. Build from afar. Like nah, don't. All my people that come here to visit, they love LA. They love it. Everyone that comes, but I tell them, you gotta stay here a month. Cause you gotta take LA in moderation, right? You gotta take it you gotta treat it like salt. You feel me? You put a little salt on it. Oh yeah, this broccoli kicking. You put freaking 2 tablespoons of salt on that. It's a wrap. It's a different animal. You just gotta know. But in all seriousness, you just got to know how to navigate, and it is what you make it. There's a lot of opportunity here. It's a lot of things you can put your hands in and make your time easier here. And I didn't know any of that before coming. I had to learn all this, just by being here on the journey.
Would you advise people to come here who do have a dream? Or would you tell them that they can follow that dream from where they at?
It depends on what it is. It depends on what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it depends on how far you are from here. Like if you in Arizona, I mean, you can be in and out. You know what I'm saying? Or the middle of the country, Chicago, something like that. I know people that do that. Or Texas. I know people that fly here and, they keep their home base and they come out here, they do their business. So it all depends. You gotta, write a list of pros and cons, right? And figure it out,
If you wasn't doing this, what would you be doing?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, you know what my previous career was, right?
No.
Police officer.
Wow. You are a bag of goodies or chocolates. Don't know what's inside.
Bro, I got it. It's a lot going on, man. Yeah. I've been around the block a few times.
How many years were you on the force?
7.5.
You never thought about joining the LAPD?
Man, hell no.
What?
No, man. I left it because I wasn't a cop. A lot of people ask me, why'd you leave the force? Because I wasn't a cop. The whole time I was doing stand-up and acting while I was a police officer. And it got to where it was like, I don't want to be doing this. And it's not for me. It was a chapter and it served its purpose. So.
Okay, so I got an area and I'm gonna try my best to address it. It seems like there's a lot of space in being an emerging artist where now it's like more things are decentralized. And so there's this huge pressure for us to have our own thing. I mentioned in podcasts for us to write our own scripts, for us to shoot with our own money or try to find funds or GoFundMe or whatever. There seems to be this huge amount of pressure for us to do it because there's a lack of positions or we're unable to get hired. How do you feel about those things? Do you feel the pressure?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. It's like at one point I hated it. I was like, damn, you got to be a multi-hyphenate. You got to do this, that, and the third. But that's only because I didn't understand the mechanics of, social media or insert whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's just better. Like, it's better this way because you have more power. Technology gives you so much reach, you know what I'm saying? And people they're doing their thing and, studios or whoever, record labels, whatever, they're looking at people do all of the legwork and stuff. It's like you got people out here that's willing to do all the things necessary to make themselves hot. It's like, it makes their job easier in a way. It's like, that's the person you want to, so it gets competitive in that way. Now it's like you got to compete with this person or this girl or this guy, or this kid or whoever. And yeah, it definitely forces you to, like, there's this pressure because of how competitive it is, you know what I'm saying? Because of your competition, but I honestly think it's better this way, So like where I'm at now, I'm like, all right, I need to really learn the mechanics of social media and how to utilize it, how to manipulate algorithms. That's why I was saying earlier, I'm doing more skits. I've been posting a lot of still frames from films that I've been a part of that are very good quality looking films. And I already see how that's been helping me. I got people writing me more now, like people in my DMs more like, damn, bro, we got to make something just from still images of things that I did. I should have been doing that. It's like, well, I have a ton of material. I got a lot of stuff I've been in. I've been in 25 shorts, maybe at least, maybe more. Like, got a ton of stuff. So yeah. I feel like, what was the question again? I feel like I trailed off.
You addressed it about the pressure to, and I guess a better word would be like entrepreneurship. There's this pressure to be an entrepreneur if you are a creative.
Oh, definitely. And that's the one thing about Los Angeles. It's so many entrepreneurs, bro. So many, man. Like, I'm from a blue collar working class city. My city, you got a union job, and that's how you made it. You got a union job with overtime, and you go and buy your house, and you have your family, and you take care of your family, and work as much as you can and make as much money. Like here, I'll be at the restaurant or something working 12 p.m. on a Tuesday, and somebody's drinking Don Julio shots. Like, that's not normal. It's you can get it out here. It's the 4th largest economy in the world now. It used to be the 5th. It's 4th.
Wow.
Like, that's the way. If you're gonna be anywhere and be an entrepreneur, Los Angeles is the place.
If you were that entrepreneur, what would be some of those businesses? Or maybe just one? Man,
if I had it right, like, I would get involved with things that would generate passive income, like multiple revenue streams. And there's a lot of different things. The laundromat is a great idea. It takes some years to get it going, but that's a great idea. That's something like once you get it up and running, you can get the next one. You can get the next one, and then you're successful. You can get people to manage it and run it. You're kind of hands off. You know what I'm saying? Commercial real estate. Get studio spaces, stuff like that. That's something that would generate a lot of money. Turo, people vacation here a lot. That's a great option. I've been looking at, vending machine routes. I just missed out on my first route, but that's something that, it's a small business that's easy to get into. So yeah, those are some things I've been thinking about for sure. It's like, I'm not the type of actor or entertainer that would catch a big lick and then just throw my feet up. It's like, no, it's like, how can I double and triple this money? How can I get other things going so that, you know what I'm saying, I can sustain when the work is not coming in, or even better than that, give myself the power to say no to things. That's when the passion sours, when you're working because you have to, right? When you're working the thing that you love because you have to. That's a terrible position to be in.
So I have this, and I know we're coming to a close. You've been doing really good. Thank you for this great interview. I feel like I'm getting to know you. Definitely getting to know you a little bit better. I didn't know all of those really cool things. I didn't know about your background.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. You're definitely well skilled in so many different areas. One of the things that I'm having difficulty, where I did have difficulty and now I'm having to perfect, is how to explain myself in like 2 sentences. Whether I'm doing like a webcast or talking to someone very briefly, or I'm doing like a website and I just have like only space for like 2 sentences. I'm so used to having conversations that I haven't perfected being able to simply explain. Like, again, 2 sentences. Like, how do you explain your artistry in like 2 sentences?
You mean like an elevator pitch, basically?
How do we know I can go and I give you an example. You know what? I'm gonna let you answer that and then I'm gonna give you an example.
Man, I'm not sure if I've had to really do that. I mean, I think a good approach would be to write things out first and then really condense it. You know what I'm saying? Either that or ChatGPT. You know what I mean? But ChatGPT is, but yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I need to do, honestly. But I mean, I keep it really simple. Look, I'm a storyteller. I like to tell stories, right? About the human condition specifically. That's the thing with being an artist. Like, we're all so empathetic. We feel so much, and that's why I got into how I became, like a fan, connoisseur, if you will, of acting, was from being affected. So I'm like, I want to affect, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just that simple.
Do you feel okay? I'm sorry. You take a pause, and so I think you're finished.
Yeah. Now, a double air sign, bro. Aquarius, Gemini rising. Like, I be having thoughts going 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I got that staccato like flow.
It's fine. I'm picking up on it. I just keep missing it every now and again.
It's all good.
Here's the example on my website that I just launched yesterday. I put this sentence. I said, "Hi, call me Nate. I'm a Mississippi guy writing stories about LA folks." Something memorable, something that gives you a value proposition, something that is not so easily forgettable. It took me a minute to come up with that. And I realized that I don't know that I need to be the best at everything. I just need to be in the room. I need to not be so forgettable.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. And there's this quote that I posted on Instagram. No, Kip had responded to it. It said, don't be worried about being the best singer in the forest or something to that effect, right? Don't be worried, because if you had to be the best to be able to sing, then there wouldn't be any music in the forest. There'd be nobody singing, right? Like, something to that effect. But it's like, you're needed. That's what I got from it. It's like, it doesn't have to be the greatest thing or the best or whatever. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be active and doing your part, right? Like, that's doing your part, being active, sharing your gift, sharing your talents.
I'm leaning more into my countryside. Like, that's who I am. Speaking more confidently. I used to feel very insecure about my drawl, about my country drawl. I was like, I slur too many of my words. People can't understand me. I was like, I'm too high pitched. My voice need to go a little bit lower. I used to just used to pick on myself a little bit. But now I understand that those things actually make me different. And
they make you who you are, man. Don't change that, because you're one of one.
Hey, I like it.
One of one, bro.
Yeah. Do you have any of those things that you may not have valued at first, but now that you lean into it because you understand that there's value in it?
Shit, man, a lot. At first I had a real strong Southern accent because I'm from Alabama originally.
Oh wow!
But I moved.
Born in Alabama?
Yeah, my whole family's from the South. I'm not no family in the East, the Northeast. Whole family in Alabama, between Texas and Florida. That's my whole family. Then some in LA and some in Chicago, but mainly between all those southern states.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me see. I feel like, again, I'm more of an introvert. And I feel like that could be off-putting to people, right? Like that, and I would try to be more of an exhibitionist at times. And that's where the comedic side kind of comes from. I would be very performative at times just to try to appease people. And it's like, no, it's okay to be who I am. Like, you quiet, it's all good. You know, you never want to do things to make yourself appear a certain way to other people or to be liked or any of those things. I used to be that person, a people pleaser. And I'm still working on that, but definitely that part. I also feel like people kind of tying this into what I was saying about the industry and typecasting. People want to try to put you in the box, right? They go by the exterior and they want you to be all these things. They expect you to be all these things. And I would definitely try to be. And it's like, nah, I just lean into who I am. You know what I mean? I'm more introverted. That's just what it is. I like to be alone. I do a lot of things alone. That's just what it is. And I can tell stories from that perspective and people can relate to that. There's a lot of people that's like that, you know, but yeah, I can't, it's kind of tough for me to pinpoint exact things at the moment, but just to be general, yeah, I would really work to try to get people to like me, or try to get people to think, you know, great things about me. And it's just like, nah, not more.
Okay. So can you end our conversation by telling us about some of your current and future projects?
Current projects. Madam Web is still on Netflix. Shout out to Madam Web. I got a movie coming out in March of 2025 called Any Day Now. That's my biggest role to date. It's number 7 on the call sheet. So you see me in about 5 scenes.
Nice.
What else? There's a couple of things in pre-production, so I don't really want to speak on those just yet, but those are the 2 main things. Oh, and I got a Toyota commercial coming out. You're gonna see me in a Toyota commercial soon. Yeah, I shot that in September, so look out for that during the holidays. You see me, I got a Puerto Rican son. You know, that's the thing, when you light skinned and black, you everything else. Yeah, he look Puerto Rican, bring him in.
But you do though.
Dominican, Persian, yeah. Everything I book, bro, is hilarious. My wife's never black. My girl is never. It was me, Progressive commercial I shot 2 years ago. The girl that was my wife is mixed. She's Canadian. She's like half black, half white. Our daughter was dark skinned. I said, yo, y'all just be doing anything. Like, they be trying to appeal, because you know what it is? It's like, they try to make everything look like a college pamphlet. You know a college pamphlet? It's an Indian girl. It's an Israeli guy. It's an African dude. It's a Chinese dude in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Like,
lovely.
They're making me like J-Lo. You ever see, like, if you watch any of J-Lo's shit, her parents are never Latin. Never. Watch any of J-Lo's movies. You can go back. Her parents are, this dude was Italian. This woman is like from Sri Lanka, kinda. Man.
They were in Selena.
Yeah, they had to be true to that. That's why. She's Mexican. You see what I'm saying? That's a biopic. You gotta give her what her parents were. That's the only one. Nice.
Okay. I didn't know you was in Madam Web. Now I got to go check it out. What?
Yeah, in the Marvel. I'm in. It's the movie. It's a movie.
Oh, the movie. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I confused it with Agatha All Along. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, Madam Web. Excuse me. My fault.
Yeah, I'm in the trailer for that. First movie trailer.
Okay. Yes, I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar. Now I'm about to go look. Now I have a purpose that's even stronger now. Excellent. So I'm definitely gonna go check that out. So congratulations, like Shaun, like you're really hitting those marks. Like, man, it's awesome to be able to like know people like yourself who are actually in the biz, who are actually getting booked. And like this conversation, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview and for doing it. I really do.